Well, we missed you last week. It was a bye week for the Colorado Buffaloes, so after a week off, the Buffs back at it as we come to you from the Post Chicken and Beer here in downtown Boulder for Buffs Primetime, presented by Aflac. We got a great crowd in attendance today. Our welcome, give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, it's been a week of pent-up energy. That's the best you could do right there. That was it. Welcome to Buffs Primetime. There you go. There you go. That's a Buff crowd right there. Our show is brought to us by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. Let's bring out the head coach of your Colorado Buffaloes, Coach Prime. He's rested, he's tanned, he's ready to go for another week. And he's in the green room behind. There he is. What do you say, Coach? Looking good.
How's everyone?
Man, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Well rested, ready to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel right without the Aflac Duck being here this week.
It don't feel right with me sitting with a cowboy hat on and you don't have one.
Yeah, I know
That's what don't feel right.
Hey, we're digging. You got the hat on and you got the beard. You just
yeah, I need a haircut. That's why I'm getting a haircut when I leave here.
How was your week off, by the way?
You know what? It was extremely well. Got home for a few days. And,
nice.
You know, like when I go back to Texas, on the ranch, I like to see something new. Because if I don't, it don't feel like I worked and earned nothing and did nothing monumental. I like to see something added.
Right.
So, I got both the Bass Lakes going. And
I saw you were stocking fish.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah. I just put some stripers, some hybrids in there.
There you go.
But I bought a Can-Am. I bought a Can-Am side-by-side and another four-wheeler. I got several, but I love it. I love Can-Ams and riding around the property.
Flying around the property.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't go too fast, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got the whole family on my back. So,
you said the other day during the press conference, and I always come to the press conference.
Yeah, and I love to see you there.
Yeah, I'm there, and I don't ask questions. I let the young folks do that. But you said something about buying acreage, and I was going to ask you because I got thinking: are you buying acreage here in Colorado, or are you buying acreage in Texas?
A little both.
A little both.
I'm looking for something. I'm a land
whore.
Right. I'm a land whore.
Right.
I am. And if that's not a bad that's not a bad word.
No, I think we're all
But
right.
I like land.
Sure.
I really do. I've been attracted to land for a long time, and I like lakes. I like the fish.
Yeah.
I like the dog to meander around, and I like my family to be able to. I like to go for walks on my own property.
Right.
Yeah, and not have to
Exactly.
go outside the gate. So I'm looking for that as well.
Have you always been an angler, a fisherman?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my stepfather taught me. I don't know how many people from the South, but I'm from Florida, so we used to go cane pole fishing. I don't know, you remember the long cane poles out the side of the car, and this is a great story. We used to go cane pole fishing, and you had the cork on there, and the cork, I used to say the cork ducks. When the cork ducks, you pull it up, and you get the little bluegill.
You got a strike.
And I remember we were fishing one time, and I saw this gentleman in this boat go by. And I thought, dang, that's a lot of access because we could just only fish in this area, but he has access to everything.
Cover a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mind didn't just stop there. I said, forget the boat. I want the whole darn lake. And that's the way I thought, even as a kid. So I haven't owned a property over the last probably 30 years that didn't have a lake.
Yeah.
So I always wanted lakes. So I love lakes on my properties.
Have you ever gotten into being a Southern guy? And I'm sure you fished for catfish at some point in time during your
I hate
lifetime.
catfish.
You don't like catfish?
I hate catfish. They stocked my lake one time and brought catfish like they were doing me a favor.
Right.
Catfish take all your bait food. They eat every
Yes,
darn
they do.
thing.
Yes,
they
they do.
get on your nerves. I used to have people come over to take the catfish. You could catch them, and they grow 3 times the bass.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Well, that kind of negates the question, but I was going to ask you, have you ever gone noodling, where you're reaching in and
Oh, my God.
get in the water, reach in there and grab them?
Oh,
They come out
one,
on your arm.
One of my friends from the Falcons,
Yeah.
on the bye week, he used to come back and his arm was all bruised. I say, what is that? And he told me what that was. And I said, ain't no way. First of all.
You guys know what that is, right? You get in there,
Yeah,
you stick
see,
your arm.
there's like
Catfish
3
can-
things black folks don't do.
Okay.
We don't deep sea dive, we don't bungee jump, we ain't noodling, all right? We don't do that. Yeah, I mean.
That right there is the headline for the show right there, by the way.
I had someone come to one of my lakes.
Yeah.
And he did that in my lake. I saw it. I saw someone
Gone in
do it,
there?
but I'm not getting in the water to do that, first of all. I'm not a swimmer either, so That is unbelievable that you would think of that. You all know what that is? Like, you put your arm in and they bite. First of all, what do you know what a hole is, you know?
Right. And he's right. You can get, guys will get all cut up.
His arm used to be bruised and cut up, and it was crazy. It's no way.
All right. So you got the cowboy hat now. You're settling in beautifully to the state of Colorado here. So the question is then, have you tried fly fishing since you've been here?
No.
Yeah.
I'm fly where I fish, but I don't do fly fishing.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good right
That's
there.
what I say. Every time somebody asks me, I always say that. I'm fly when I fish, but I don't fly fish.
You need to get out and give that a try.
That's too much work. I mean, I got to cast 4 times for one.
Oh, yes.
Like you got I mean, I don't understand all that.
It's beautiful, Prime. I mean, it's just this lovely back and forth.
No. I might as well go play tennis. I'm going to do that.
Well, good. I'm glad you got some downtime there.
It did. It was good.
You know, years ago, there was a coach that I worked with who he was long retired by the time I worked around him. And he said that the losses stuck with him much longer than the joy of the wins. Are you the same way?
Yeah, but I'm a little different because I go deep into those losses because I'm a why guy. I got to find out the why of everything in life. The why. Why are you playing football? Why you do this? Why?
Yeah.
I'm the why. So why? And I analyze this stuff. So when I'm home, even resting, I'm exhausting my mind. And it's one thing to sleep and get rest, but if you don't turn off, it's hard for me to turn off my mind.
You bet.
So if I don't turn off my mind, I don't get rest. You get sleep, but you don't get rest. So being at home, I'll compile a list of 50 things that I want to handle when I get back, before I get back, and the coaches know me like a book, so they know when I get back off a trip, something like that is on.
Sure.
Like, you get ready, because he's going to be on one when he gets back. So, and I compile a crazy list of things we need to do, things I saw, things that we can improve on, things that I can improve on. How can I lead better? How can we do things more efficient and effective? So we got a whole list of those things.
So it's really kind of evaluate everything from top
Yes.
to bottom.
Yes.
Do you sleep the night after a game when you lose one?
It's tough.
Yeah.
I stayed in the stadium for a couple of days.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was the one almighty. Yeah, I'd never been in that situation before in my life. That was a little tough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else, please.
I know. You want to go back to noodling? What do you think?
But that's worse than talking about my 2 exes. Yeah.
Right. Well, that I'm not going to touch. I mean,
We'll talk about them. We'll talk about all this other stuff.
listen, we're friends.
Things that troubled me and cost me.
There are certain lines I'm not going to cross with. That would be one there, yeah.
That's along the same lines.
Well, I understand. This one, I was thinking about this game, and I thought for you as a high-level athlete, and maybe you kind of touched on it here, but when you did not have success, as much success you had, when something did not go, where you got beat on a play, where
hold on.
Did that not happen? No.
Hold on right there.
Okay, this one I know of.
Okay.
When you had a bad stretch of the plate in baseball.
There you go.
Yeah, you know how
had
tough
a lot
that
of
is.
those.
Okay. All right. How does Coach Prime or prime time in your career, when you're an athlete, how did you deal with failure?
Tough. Well, I don't call it failure.
Okay.
I'm a natural fixer. So if something was wrong, I got to fix it. Like if I took a 0 for 4, I had a batting cage in my yard at home. So I hit at the stadium, then I went home and turned the lights on. I was hitting all night. So, I'm a fixer, watching tape, see what I could do better. How can I dominate this situation, because I'm going to be in this situation again, and I got to improve the next time, because trust me, God is going to let it happen again. That was just a sneak preview of what was going to happen later on in life. I faced it head on. I took responsibility. I accepted the blame, and I faced it head on. I never put it on anyone else, or we should have did this, or we shouldn't have been in that coverage, or we should have did this. I took it head on, and I felt like I conquered it because I never denied what transpired, but I knew the next time if it was going to happen, and it was, how would I handle it?
In your analysis, were you the kind of guy, are you still the kind of guy that will sort, you've talked about how much you think of Nick Saban, for example. Mm-hmm. Were there athletes or former athletes that used to contact, hey, I'm dealing with this. How do I get through that? Did you lean upon their wisdom?
In baseball, not football.
No?
No. Football, I was it. So it was had to look in the mirror and lean on me. Baseball, that deserved a clap. Then that was good.
Yeah,
it was really good. Baseball, yes, because I was just an average player. trying to make it my own way. And I had so many great players I played with. The greatest player I ever played with was Barry Bonds.
Sure.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
That dude was unbelievable. But I did play with Terry Pendleton and Ricky Henderson and some of the greats.
Great players.
Oh, great players that taught me so much about not just speaking into me, but watching them go about their craft as well.
Is that why you stuck with baseball, because it was such a phenomenal challenge?
That was a challenge.
Yeah.
Every man loves a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, we love challenges. That's what drives us. I'm here because I love the challenge of it all.
Right.
It could have been other places, but I love, first of all, I love Rick. You know that. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
But the challenge of taking this from this to this, I love that. And I'm attracted to the challenges of life.
Yeah. As physically dominating as you were, though, was baseball, I know you, because you love the challenge, was it hard to accept sometimes? Because in baseball, you fail so much.
Yeah, but you fail, 7 out of 10 times and you're
Sure.
still a star.
Yeah.
So I played it all my life, so I knew the trials and tribulations of that. But, I was getting criticized a lot more than others because I was in the spotlight all year round. So it wasn't just the baseball players that, he would have been so much better if he just dropped football and focused on baseball. It was always something else that they added on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the one athlete in your life that you looked at and thought, wow, that guy is different?
Let me see. I got him right here.
You can look at your camera. Yeah, there he is right there. Okay, interviewer made a
That's
mistake.
the easy one. That was a layup right there.
Interviewer made a mistake.
That was short toss.
Excluding yourself, Coach
There you
Crum,
go.
Who would be the one athlete that you thought that cat is different?
It wasn't one.
Yeah.
It was MJ is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And, I can remember, I remember when he came and picked me up one time. I was playing against the Cubs, and he came to pick me up in Chicago. And, just he and I being together riding around town was something in the conversations. And I remember later on in my career, we were playing in Chicago as well, and Bo came over to the clubhouse. He wasn't playing that day, and I was sitting on the bench that day. So we went in the locker room and talked for like an hour. And that conversation was, I wish you could have just gleaned from that conversation, me and Bo Jackson talking, or me and Michael Jordan talking. Barry Bonds, like I say, was the guy in baseball. Ricky Henderson.
Sure.
So many of these guys had that it. And I played with so many good players. Jerry Rice was like that. Michael Irvin, Troy, Steve Young. I mean, I played with so many great players that had that thing that you can't define. They just had it.
Yeah. Ricky Henderson's got maybe the greatest sports quote, greatest sports quote of all time. And you'll appreciate this because you're a man of faith. They said something to Ricky about John 3:16. He said, hey, John's only hitting 316. Ricky's hitting 330. I don't want to hear about that. Right?
That sounds like Ricky.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Ricky.
One? He taught me so much about stealing bases.
Is
And
that
just, oh, God. I wish I was he was so patient. God, he was so patient at the plate. Yeah. I mean that corner off the strike zone, and he would take. I would be chasing that all day, and he was I never had the patience like he had, but he taught me a lot.
Hey, now, I know I'm not the only one in the room that just thought this. When Prime says that MJ picked him up, wouldn't you want to be a fly in the car for that conversation?
Yeah.
What's that conversation like? Give us a little insight. What's that conversation? Michael Jordan comes by, picks up Deion Sanders.
In the clubhouse,
yeah.
and I was playing for the Braves, and
yeah.
he came by, and first of all, it was Michael Jordan pick you up in his little Porsche, and we were going to a restaurant with security all around us and everything. And it was just, that was the first time we ever spent time together alone outside of the crowds and the cliques and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just, what's up, dog? Like, hey, this is your city, man.
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, it was like, it wasn't the questions that I would ask. It was just conversation of like two dudes that are playing at a very high level, and we had so much respect for one another.
Sure.
And it was just life. It was just part of life. Same thing with me and Bo, man. Like, that was the more interesting conversation because if it wasn't for Bo, it would never have been a Prime. So we was doing so many things similar, but we were competitors as well.
I saw you one time on with Rich Eisen, and he was asking you about the greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah.
And he named a bunch of guys, and you stopped him and you said, wait a minute. You haven't mentioned Bo Vincent Jackson.
That's
if you
right.
don't mention him, there's no conversation.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Because he drove me.
Right.
Because you got to have a rabbit. I don't know if some of you been to the dog track. I'm from Florida. Went to dog tracks. You got to have a rabbit that you're chasing. You got to have something in life that you're chasing that takes you and propels you to the next level. And Bo was that rabbit for me.
Reed's telling me I got to take a break. But what's your rabbit right now? What are you chasing right now?
Victories. And I want you guys to just bust your hands clapping that you're so enthusiastic about the Colorado Buffaloes. Like, I want to dominate this thing, and I want to win so much that you already know when you coming to the darn game that it's going to be a victory. It's about how much, not if we're going to win. It's about how much we're going to win by. I'm chasing that feeling, that thing that takes us to the next level. That's why it's so hard for me sometimes, because I know what it looks like there.
All right.
I know what it looks like in that place called there, and we're going to get there.
That is music to our ears. Coach Prime, we got one more segment. We're at the Post Chicken and Beer. It's Buffs Prime Time, presented by Aflac Colorado at UCLA this weekend. We're back in a moment. This is Colorado football from Learfield.
Just lended a helping hand with the team, and then that manifested in when Coach got a job up here. I think I was one of the first people you saw when you got in the facility. Got a flight up here, and then I've been just documenting my journey and his and all the players every day since then. Oh, yeah, my YouTube channel is Reach the People Media, or if you type in Darius Sanders, type in anything Coach Prime, you'll see our stuff everywhere.
All right, Darius, awesome.
He's one of the people that keeps us popping, that keeps our brand out there. And I think on the school page, I think we have over a million followers.
Yep,
Thank you.
Yep.
And that's one reason as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sanders, there is no relation there.
There is no relation, but he's like one of my sons.
Love it.
He really
Love
is.
it. Welcome, Darius.
Yeah.
All right, who's got a question for Coach? Way in the back. Here at the Post Chicken and Beer in downtown Boulder. It's presented by Aflac. Also, our show presented by Hilton's on Canyon. Are you coming to Boulder for game day? Stay at Hilton's on Canyon, a proud hotel partner of the Buffaloes. We continue with Coach Prime here for one more segment. Coach Sal's coming in, by the way. We're talking defensive line.
Oh, my God. Sal's here?
He's an interesting guy.
Oh, my God. I may stay around to hear Sal.
You might need to, yeah.
You got to put the kids out of the room.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Tuck the kids away.
And also Shane Cokes is coming up.
Shane's a great young man.
Well, he's an impressive young man,
isn't he? Oh, my God. He's a great young man. Yeah, he's going to own a lot of stuff one day. I love him he's going to be a professional, not only a football player, but he's going to be a professional in life.
He's one of those guys when you meet him. He came here from Dartmouth, transferred here from Dartmouth. When you meet him, he feels like he's 35.
Yes.
That's the way he kind of carries himself.
Yeah, well, Dartmouth, when you introduce him in Dartmouth, that's the way you said Dartmouth.
That's exactly right. So when did you bring the guys back? How many days off did they get?
We worked Sunday, Monday,
right away,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Did we work Wednesday? No. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I think I gave him
Michael
off.
was shaking his head no.
I gave him Wednesday, Thursday. I gave him off Wednesday. I gave him off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
We worked Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday, we're off Tuesday. We had to.
You have to take a day off.
NCAA, they make you. God, I don't understand this. They make you get the kids a day off, and we only practice an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, but they got to have a day off. Mm-hmm. So we came back and we worked. We're off Tuesday. We worked today, tomorrow. We work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we get on the plane tomorrow.
What are you looking for from your guys?
Everything.
Obviously, you want them to play better. That's simple.
You want me to go to the list?
What?
I got a list right here.
So after Stanford, what do you want to see from them? You talked about the like and love aspect. What are you looking for from your guys?
I'm serious. You think I'm joking? I got a list. Let me find it.
That's how organized he is.
Yeah, let me find it.
Going through the phone.
Yeah.
Since we're on radio, I got to explain this.
Well, this is I compiled my notes for the team.
Right. Yeah.
They don't know how to find. They know I don't know how to find half the stuff. Okay, here we go. I don't want to say everything because it involves the team, but we got to be disciplined in all phases of the game. We got to be physical. We got to hold one another accountable. We won't tolerate pre and post snap penalties. We won't have any substitution penalties. We will win our one-on-one battles consistently. We will exceed expectations individually as well as collectively. We will practice with game-like focus and intensity. I will be a team player and do what's best for the team all week. I will study and prepare for this game like it can change my life for me and my family. I will be coachable and do as I'm instructed and do it with passion. My attitude and effort will make the person I respect the most proud. I will be ready for my opportunity, and it will present itself. We will win this game because of what I contributed this whole week. When I look at my position coach, in the eyes at the end of practice and after the game, will he say, "Well done"? Those are just some notes that
he wasn't joking.
I exchanged with the team, and I want them to really embody that and think about those type of things.
The one you said there was a video the other day that you put up. You were talking to the team about the person that you admire most. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting motivational tool you were using there.
Right. Well, I mean, the person that you admire most, you want them to be proud. If you go out there and practice like garbage, would they be proud?
No.
If you live your life horrifically, would they be proud? Like, we were raised a certain way. We were taught a certain way. We want these type of things in life, but we got to be willing to sacrifice to attain those type of things. This is a whole new generation, and you got to be straight with them.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to be playing around with them. This generation today, you got to cut through the chase and go right at them and tell them the truth about themselves.
Did you ever play in the Rose Bowl?
Never. I don't even know if I've been to the Rose Bowl.
I was going to say, being
I'm excited. I'm thankful. We darn sold the Rose Bowl out. I'm happy. And
how about that, by the way?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. How about every game we played has been sold out?
Every single game the Buffs have played been sold out. The television numbers been off the charts. They actually pulled some of the tarps off of the upper levels of the Rose Bowl to sell more tickets for this weekend.
Yeah, so hopefully we could get accommodated with certain tickets because they only give us so many. Like, you think they want to give us a few more tickets because we helped sell the thing out?
That would be
kind, wouldn't
logical, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
You would think so.
You would think so.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to say, I saw the promos the other day. We got our cameras right here. You guys in Smack are here. The The documentary.
Your documentary. Let me tell you something. The documentary for this season is going to be amazing. You know, I'm proofing it, and my hands is in everything. So I like our young men to be presented in a certain way, as well as this fine institution. So I'm watching the first and second episode and compiling notes and making sure it's what I want. And it was a scene. I don't want to give it away, but it's a scene in there with Jimmy Horn and his father. And thank God, Smack, these cameras, they were able to go in the prison that he's in.
Wow.
And an interview. And when you hear this interview from this man, I promise you, I don't care how strong and bravado you are, you're going to break into pieces about the love. I'm feeling it right now, the love and compassion and passion that he has for his son. And he's incarcerated, but you could feel the love through the walls and through the bars. It's unbelievable, and I'm thankful for the SMAC team to really get that interview. It was unbelievable. So you're getting to know our kids on a whole nother level. And I was telling Charlie Offendahl, what he and his father was in the weight room, and they was just talking in the conversation, just seeing our young man with their parents, and you could see why. You could see their why. And it was unbelievable to see Charlie with his father as well.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
It's going to be a good doc. It's going to be a good doc.
It's more than just about football.
Yeah.
And Coach Prime. It's about all the players and the guys on the
Well, they get mad at me because half the time I don't put the mic on.
Right.
You know, they want to mic me all the time for practice. I'm like, I'm not saying nothing today. I'm good.
Wait a second. You're always saying something.
Get the kids.
You're
I did put the mic on today. It just so happens I was on one today. So they got some good stuff today, I promise you.
Well, we've got a big one coming up on Saturday.
Yes, we
That's
do.
a 5:30 game, by the way, Mountain Time out there in Los Angeles. The Buffs are ready, and Coach Prime will not noodle. That's what we've learned today.
I would not.
On the Prilla Show.
And don't forget the three things that black folks don't do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bungee jumping, noodling, and what was the other one?
Deep sea diving.
Deep sea diving.
We don't do that.
That's the headline.
We ain't
of the
going
show.
down there. Ain't nothing down there I want to see.
I love it. Hey, Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless you all.
Coach Prime. And the Buffaloes have got UCLA at 5:30. Gary and I are going to hit here at 3:30 with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. Coach Sal, we're talking defensive line. He's going to join us next as we continue from the Post Chicken and Beer. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. Hey, every week the Coach's Show is hosted by the Post Chicken and Beer. 7 Colorado Front Range locations. The Post brews up delicious award-winning beers and fries up the crispiest, juiciest hot chicken around. Fried chicken and beer go together like black and gold football. Stop by the Post for all your game time provisions. And for next week's show, we're out here on Thursday next week. Buffs getting ready for homecoming next week with Oregon State. We should have talked to Prime about that. He don't like the night games. We've got another night game coming up next week. We got UCLA this week, 5:30 Mountain Time. Coach and I are going to hit the air at 3:30 with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. Sal Cincinnati, the defensive line coach for the Buffaloes, joining us here for a few minutes during our assistant segment. Sal, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, how was the bye week?
Horrible.
Okay, explain.
Well, it's real simple. I've been in football for a long time.
Sure.
And when you lose a game and you go to a bye week, you don't sleep. And I still haven't slept. And I'll be honest with you, I went to Walgreens last night and I had to get some Advil PM.
Okay.
So I could relax my mind.
Yeah.
When you're in this business, the only thing that matters is winning. And going back, I had a son who's coaching at James Madison. He's 7-0. Mm-hmm. My other son is coaching at the Patriots. They won. Yeah. So in the Cincinnati family, my poor wife goes through a weekend. Does Colorado win? Does James Madison win? Does the Patriots win?
Right.
So, and it just stews on you because I've been part of a lot of national championships. Mm-hmm. My son was in a national championship, and he won. Probably the hardest thing that I ever had to do was swallow a Super Bowl loss versus the New England Patriots and watching those kids cry on the sideline. So I'm just being honest with everybody. Yep. Is that, the only thing that I expect is for us to go out there and give our best effort forward and go give the fans, Boulder, Colorado, and my family a win. And we didn't get that done.
Right. Well, I mentioned at the Prime when he was out here a little bit, I had a coaching friend of mine years ago that retired because the losses stuck with him. He couldn't get over them.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I can go back to the dang Super Bowl where Vrabel ran a crossing route and we got picked and they caught the ball. Or you go back with, we're going to kick off. We take the lead in the Super Bowl. We kick off. Our kicker kicks the ball out of bounds, and Tom Brady only has to go 35 yards for a field goal to win the game. So you go back to those games. I go back to when I was playing at the University of Pittsburgh. We jump on Penn State 14-0. We're 11-0, and the next thing you know, Julius Dawkins goes and catches a post for us to go up 21, gets hit, ball pops up in the air. We end up losing that game like 45-14. Yeah. So those things were, and you met, and you also, there's some wins that you remember, but here's what I believe. Okay, I came out here to give you all a good product. And when we don't give you a good product, and my players will tell you, when Shane gets up here, he's going to tell you, I'm not going to tolerate them going out and being average in practice. I'm not going to go out there and tolerate them not doing exactly what they need to do for us to be successful on Saturday or Friday night. That's what it's about. That's what Prime wants. He wants us to change the cultures. We're only going to give you the best. And if you don't want to give the best, I'm going to move to the next guy.
Right now, I hope you guys and all the people that are watching, streaming right now on the Buffs football Facebook page and will listen tonight on the radio network, every once in a while a fan will say to me, I don't think these coaches really care. If you didn't just listen to what Sal just said right there and understand the cellular level depth that these guys take this game, I want you to appreciate what you guys just heard right there, all right? I mean, that's what these guys are dealing with game in and game out. So after a game like 2 weeks ago against Stanford, obviously you're not sleeping. You're very clear there. What is your course of action? What do you do?
Well, we're going to go and we're going to show them where they made their mistakes. Mm-hmm. We're going to show them where they could be better. We're going to show them exactly what they need to do for our football team to be successful. And it's not, it's like this. When you go out there and there's a play, there's basically 11 fistfights. We've got to win 9 out of those 11. And if we win 9 out of those 11, we have a chance to be successful. If we're being average and we're only winning 5 out of the 11, we're not going to win. and that's where it's at.
Why did you become a football coach?
I probably had the greatest coach when I was playing at the University of Pittsburgh, a guy by the name of Foge Fazio.
Oh, yeah.
And Foge taught me that about the game. He taught me about studying the opponent. He taught me. So when I was being coached by him, I also coached a minor league baseball team that went undefeated and everything else. So I got that itch. Taking young people and develop them so they can reach dreams is what I'm all about. When I went out and watched Will Anderson practice, and everybody knows who Will Anderson is, I said, I got to coach this kid. I'm going to make his dreams come true. His effort, his explosion, his tools were unbelievable. And this was just watching him practice.
Yeah.
Then I watched him in the game. So we bring him over to Alabama at the time. And we're out there for the first 3 or 4 days of practice. And Saban says, well, this kid's the best kid. I said, no shit. Sorry about that if I'm on. I said, but.
Hit the dump button.
But I said, yeah, that's what it's about. And I think I can make him even better, Coach. And because of his work ethic, because of how important the game was to him, how I could educate this guy. And that goes with even the players here. Some of these young men don't know how talented they are, but I've got to pull it out of them. We as a coaching staff got to pull it out of them. And we got to show them this is the only thing that we're going to accept, and that's greatness. You want to be average? I'm not going to let you be.
So with all that being said, how do you assess your defensive front so far here through 7 games?
Average.
Average?
I want more sacks.
Yeah.
I want more tackles for a loss. And these guys, sometimes they believe that, hey, if I just stay in my gap, I'm good. No, man, you got to be in your gap. And if the ball cuts back, you got to go off and make that play.
Right.
I want us to be dominating. I want us to friggin' be a difference in the game, just not survive the game. Yeah. And the guys are starting to understand that, and they're starting to learn it because in practice, here's what I truly believe. If you get sacks in practice, you're going to get sacks in the game. If you get tackles for the loss, you're going to get that. If you get your butt kicked, you're going to get kicked in the game.
Right.
So, I'm not afraid to point it out to them, and you can, when Shane gets up here, you guys can ask him anything you want. But I'm only going to accept the best.
Yeah. How did you get connected with Coach Prime? How'd that happen?
Well, probably through Charles.
Okay.
Charles Kelly and I worked together at Alabama and at Florida State, and we had success at both places. And, a position opened here, and it was time to come out here and give you all what we need to have. And it's toughness, aggressiveness, relentlessness, and we're going to win.
All right, Saturday you're going to face UCLA.
Yep.
They've got a pretty potent offense, but talk about that matchup in the trenches. We're going to see what your guys are going to face.
I think right now they have big offensive linemen that like to get you running laterally like the old Gibbs play it, that used to do over here.
Little zone blocking scheme, yeah.
There's going to be inside zone, outside zone, and they're going to try to get us running one way or the other. And you got to basically you can't run lateral with him. As soon as you go lateral, he's going to cut back, and the next thing you know, it's going to split the defense, and that's going to happen. But we're going to have to stop the running game. We're going to have to be precise. We're going to have to come out of our hips, knock these people in the face, and say, you know what, we're going to be here to play football all night.
Love it. Spoken like a defensive line coach right there. Sal, thanks for coming by and seeing us.
No problem.
Sal Censori, defensive line coach for the Buffaloes. One of his guys, Shane Cook's going to come up next. We're going to talk with him, the Dartmouth transfer, as the Buffs get ready to take on UCLA on Saturday. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Presented by Aflac. Get help with expenses. Health insurance does not cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. Voice of the Boss, Mark Johnson, back here at the Post Chicken and Beer. Shane Cokes joining us, defensive lineman for the Buffaloes. He's a transfer from Dartmouth out of Dayton, Ohio. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
So you had to stay. You stayed around here during the bye week, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. I just stayed in my apartment. Chilled out, got some rest, some recovery.
There you go. Good stuff. Hard for you after a game like we had a week and a half ago?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, any loss is hard, but I think just the way we lost, and then just having to live with that through the bye week was not the most fun thing on the mind. But, bounce back, get ready for this week.
So what's it like playing for Coach Sal? He's an interesting guy, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
And he's got interesting language he uses, too.
Yeah.
Even on the radio.
Yeah. No, Coach Sal is definitely interesting. I think I've had coaches who have been hard on me and used interesting language before, but I think just the magnitude that Coach Sal used, it kind of took me aback at first. But I think you get used to it, and then I think it's obviously, at first it's like, whoa, but I think we understand, like, the place where it's coming from and just, like, how much he wants you to be that better player and the player he sees you becoming, even higher than your own expectation. I think you learn to read past what he's saying and really hear, like, what he's trying to get you to do.
What is your experience like been here, Colorado? So here you're at Dartmouth. You jump in the transfer portal. You end up here at Colorado. You're playing for Coach Prime. You got, television cameras all over the place all the time. What's this experience been like for you so far?
I think one of a kind is the best way you can explain it, because, this is the only place in the country where you would experience something like this. I mean, having a documentary, the celebrities on the sideline, and just, like, I think the spring also, just going through that with, the whole spring game and then the team, have them going to transfer report. I think it's been interesting, but it's also been a fun experience. I think it's been something new, something I've enjoyed a lot of, and just continuing on, learning more from it.
Give us your background. I mentioned you're from Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Give us some of your background, your family, big family, small family. Where do you come from?
Originally from Dayton, Ohio, family of 4, including me, 2 brothers, 1 sister.
Where do you fall in line?
All older, so I'm the youngest.
The baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make you tougher or not?
I think so, yeah. You got to defend yourself a lot.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Besides, when you're child number 1, you fall over, mom and dad are like, oh, my goodness, you okay? By the time you get to number 4, you're like, you're fine, get up, come on. Yeah.
You always got to fight for everything, the TV remote, fight your sister and brothers.
Were you always an athlete?
Yeah. I mean, grew up playing sports. My brothers and sisters always played sports, so it's something I knew, like I always wanted to do.
Just football or something else?
No, so I played football, ran track, and played basketball growing up. I stopped when I was in high school and then just focused on football.
Going to Dartmouth and being in the Ivy League, that's some heady stuff, right? Literally and figuratively, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Hard.
I was going to say, because the emphasis on, at every institution, when you're at a fine institution, academics can be important.
Yeah.
But you're in the Ivy League.
Yeah.
That's a different deal.
No, it was not easy. I would say that. I think people kind of like get it confused. I think they think like, being in Ivy League, like it's just academics and then you just like play football. But no, it's the same focus. But now like you have to do your academics also at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think just being here and just like seeing the differences in academics. Like obviously, Colorado's a good school, but going to Dartmouth and going through that for 3.5 years, like balancing football and academics, like it just takes so much time. I think like from that, like I've learned a lot of good time management skills or to balance both. And then now here, like I'm able to give a greater focus to football because of that.
The first time I interviewed Shane, it was right after you transferred. It was in spring, I think, that you and I did something. And I went like, holy cow, that guy. I told you he's impressive, didn't I? I told you he's an impressive guy. So when football is over for you, right? There's that old line. It's not when you're done with football, it's when football's done with you, right? Okay, it's going to come to an end. What are you going to do? What do you want to do?
That's $1 million question.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, like I had an internship in finance at Dartmouth. Like that interested me for sure. But I think as a kid, like I think I always been in the movies and film and stuff like that. So maybe like that path, but more on the business side, I think at the end of the day, like as long as it's something like creative and something like I can continue to like work with it and like build a story with it from it, I think that's something that I want to pursue. All
right. Now we got to get back in the winning track this week, right?
Yeah.
How have you liked the way the team's responded?
We responded well. I think, it's been obviously a tough week of practice, as it should be. I think, especially after that type of loss. And then I think it's just been a week of reflecting and understanding like where things went wrong at and also like how I can be better as a leader, how the team can be better, how the defense can be better, and just understanding where we failed at and where we can succeed this week.
Love it. I told you he's impressive. Number 99. Hey, nice job.
Thank you.
Shane Colt, seeing the Buffaloes, will take on UCLA on Saturday at the Rose Bowl. Again, Gary and I are going to hit the air at 3:30 with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show, followed by kickoff at 5:30. Thank you guys for coming out to the Post Chicken and Beer for Buffs Prime.